Am I the a-hole for giving my sick wife minimal attention after feeling betrayed? I am 47, have been married to my wife, at 44, for 15 years. We have 4 beautiful teenage children. For most of those years, we were strong, a team. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it was warm, dependable, close. We shared everything. At least, that's what I thought. But over the last 2 years, things started to shift. The change began subtly when Shiri entered the workforce after being home for several years. At first, I was proud of her, excited even. She's smart, ambitious, and capable. I encouraged her to pursue her career again, especially now that the kids are older and more independent. But somewhere along the way, that excitement turned into unease. I'll never forget the first real red flag. She told me she was going out for dinner with some clients. That in itself wasn't odd. Her new role involved a lot of networking. But she didn't come home until 11 p.m. That's not like her. I tried calling her multiple times throughout the night, but she didn't answer. Eventually, concern got the better of me, and I checked her phone's location via Find My iPhone, something we both had set up years ago for safety and convenience. She wasn't where she said she would be. When she finally answered my call, she sounded cheerful. "I'm on my way home," she said, as if nothing was off. But something was off. When she walked through the door, I couldn't shake the suspicion. For the first time in our marriage, I checked her phone. I didn't want to. I felt like a criminal doing it, but I couldn't let it go. I guessed her passcode and found a string of messages with one of her clients. The conversations were casual and friendly, maybe too friendly. Daily chats that spanned hours. Selfies exchanged, none of them inappropriate, but still jarring. And one of those chats happened while we were out on what was supposed to be a special dinner, just the two of us. She was texting him at the table. When I confronted her, she swore it was nothing, that it never went beyond text. No affair, just friendly banter. But when I asked her to cut contact with him, she hesitated. Only when I said I was seriously considering divorce did she agree to end the communication. That was the first major crack in our marriage. The first time I looked at her and thought, do I really know who you are anymore? Still, for the sake of our kids and the life we built, I forgave her. And for a while, things seemed to go back to normal. She appeared remorseful. She stopped messaging the man, as far as I could tell. We made an agreement. If she ever stayed out late or needed to meet clients, she'd be transparent. And she agreed to keep her location on, not because I demanded it, but because she wanted to rebuild trust. Fast forward to 6 months ago. She came home late again, something she occasionally did, but this time, I felt uneasy. I wasn't snooping, I swear. But I remembered her complaining the night before about her gastric acting up because she ate late. So I called and asked, casually, if she had eaten yet. She said no. Her location? A restaurant. When I asked her directly, she claimed she was out with friends. Maybe she was. I didn't have proof otherwise, but I gave her a warning and reminded her about our previous agreement. She apologized. Again. Then came the latest incident. The one that truly pushed me to the edge. 3 months ago, she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. It started with inflammation in her eyes, and the doctors warned of potential joint issues. Naturally, I was devastated for her. I took her to appointments, researched her condition, and adjusted our home life to support her. I wanted to be there. Despite everything, I still loved her. But one day, about 3 weeks ago, I noticed a WhatsApp notification on our shared laptop. I normally wouldn't read her messages, but this caught my eye because she had told me she was attending group fitness classes with a female instructor. What I saw told a different story. The message was from a male personal trainer, not just any message, but a string of friendly, familiar exchanges. I dug deeper. Turns out she had been having private sessions with this trainer for weeks. She never mentioned him. She told me it was a group class. And we've had conversations in the past, early in our marriage, in fact, where she agreed that one-on-one sessions with the opposite sex made both of us uncomfortable. She once criticized a friend of hers for hiring a male trainer. So what changed? I confronted her, gently at first. Gave her a chance to come clean. She lied. She created an elaborate story about a female-led group session with friends. I pushed further, and she kept doubling down until I showed her the messages. Then she crumbled and admitted it. She said she lied because she didn't want me to be upset about the cost. Over $2,000. And when I asked her why she lied about the gender of the trainer, she said she didn't think it mattered. But it did. Not because of jealousy. Not because I'm controlling. But because she lied again. And this wasn't a minor omission. It was repeated, intentional deceit. I was angry. Not about the money, but about how casually she had violated my trust for the third time. She never even tried to discuss it with me. She made a decision she knew I'd be uncomfortable with and chose to keep me in the dark. I nearly ended our marriage right there. I was done. But then she got worse. Her symptoms suddenly escalated. She couldn't walk. She was in pain constantly. I rushed her to a specialist. The doctor told us stress could be a trigger for her condition. That emotional turmoil might have pushed her immune system into overdrive. And now I feel like I'm stuck in this impossible place. I didn't abandon her. I still help her around the house. I drive her to appointments. I refill her medications. But emotionally, I've shut down. I barely speak to her. I do what needs to be done, but I can't pretend everything is okay. She's noticed, of course. She asks me if I still love her, if I've stopped caring. I don't know how to answer. Part of me wants to forgive, to try again. But another part of me is screaming enough. How many lies can one person take before the heart just gives up? So here I am, trying to be a decent husband while feeling like a stranger in my own marriage. Am I the a-hole for giving her minimal attention while she's sick? For feeling distant and considering divorce despite her condition? Is my hurt justified, or am I punishing her at the worst possible time? I don't want to be heartless, but I also don't want to keep bleeding in silence.